Alright, I just finished the alignment. I didn't videotape it because it's really just a lot of moving the tie rod or connecting rod around, well, not around, but tightening it or loosening it, whatever you may need, and checking measurements and measurements and measurements. Here's how I had to do it on a CJ, sprung under CJ with 5 by 5.5 lug pattern. There's the side you have to use with the bleep and jeep alignment tool, so it looks quote unquote upside down, but it works just fine. In order to clear the leaf springs and the drive shaft, I used my angle finder and I set them both at 20 degrees, and that was plenty to clear. My main thing was just making sure that it was the same on both sides. So that's what I did there. You can see how I have my tape measures laying. I've got those Fat Max tape measures that I used to use when I did home renovations a long time ago. They're a little too big for these things. I've got one of the smaller style tape measures. I probably could have just walked to Home Depot and bought another one, but I didn't want to do that. So they're laying down, so I just had to look in either way to get my measurement. I'll go show you on the other side. I used some bolts. Come on. I used some bolts to secure the tape measures on either side, so I didn't have to worry about them falling off. And then it was just a matter of, in my case, I needed to tighten the connecting rod because I was actually towed out, which I can't believe I didn't get any death wobble, but I got it. It says within 1/8 or a 1/16, and then if I can get this to focus, there. I'm at 1/8. This tie rod, or a connecting rod, I keep saying tie rod. It's the Rugged Ridge, quote unquote, HD tie rod, which I think it's 1¼ inch tubing, tie rod and connecting rod. But it uses the stock size tie rod ends with the Chevy 1-ton threads, and they're terrible. I really wish I hadn't have bought them, but they are the tie rod ends. You can only get them from Rugged Ridge. They're really expensive and they're junk. I actually bought a set of 1-ton tie rod ends to replace these, but I'm kind of scared to ream out the steering knuckles anymore on the Stana 30. I'm scared the material is going to get too thin, and a steering failure sounds petrifying to me. So I don't think I'm going to do it. But that should be good now, so I'm going to button this up. I'm going to tighten the connecting rod down, remove all this, and then I think I'm going to rotate my tires. Whoa, got dark. I'm going to rotate my tires, and I'm going to throw the balance beads in, and then that'll be done today, because I have to order more parts for the gosh darn 6-bolt hubs again, after I look all over Jeep forum to figure out what on earth I need, because I thought I had everything. Alright. Guess what I did while I was taking everything apart? It needs to be either a 32nd or a 16th and not an 1/8. So, put it all back on, redid my alignment again, and now I'm at a 16th. If this thing will focus. There it goes. So I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not shooting for a 32nd. I can't deal with that. So alright, this is coming all back apart. Alright, I'm gonna get started on the balance beads. Here is my front driver's side tire. Can tell my steel wheels are showing their age here, but look at all these weights. This one isn't even bad. Like this weight, it's broken. And I just wanted to get rid of that situation altogether. So I'm gonna start pulling these off and letting the air out, and we'll go hopefully get these things filled up, and I'm gonna rotate them. All right, I went ahead and did one tire without recording just to make sure I knew what I was doing. It's kind of a pain to put those beads in there. Actually, they're fine, but they're not fine enough. They get clogged in the valve stem, so you really got to work it to get them in. It takes quite a while. So I'm going to record this one. I'm going to pull the valve core out, flip the tire over, take the wheel weights off, and then I'll get to filling it up. Just had to take my dog for a walk. And while I was walking him, I was thinking about doing that alignment when I was doing. And when I first did it, the alignment bars say to be a 16th or a 32nd. You subtract the rear measurement from the front to get your measurement. And when I first did it, I was getting negative half an inch, which means I was towed out negative half an inch. And according to those alignment bars, you should have an 1/8 to a 32nd positive toe in. Did I say toe in before? I meant I was towed out. You should be towed in an 1/8 to a 32nd, and I was towed out a half. So hopefully it'll be drive a lot better. I don't know. I can't believe I didn't have death wobble or anything. This was the one with all the weights. Look at that. This is from, like, I don't know what tire store, but a tire store. Look at all these weights, man. So, pull all these off, fill with balance beads. It should be good to go, I hope. Check it out. I finally figured this out. Fill the tube a little bit. And then you just kind of squeeze. And it slowly sucks it down. Look at that. Man, this is tedious, but this is my third tire. One more to go. Alright, well, I didn't take a lot of video of me putting the balance beads in and putting the tires back on, because I mean, what all do you need to see of people putting tires on and all that? But I got them on, took it for a test drive, drove fine with the balance beads, drove fine with the new alignment, and that's it. Got one more thing to do. I bought a steering stabilizer like a year ago. Finally gonna throw that on. And I still need to buy whatever parts I have left to buy for the 6-bolt hubs, so I can finally do that conversion, because there they are, back on the shelf, until I can figure out With all parts I need. There's my steering stabilizer that I bought. Do that next.